Hi, I'm Tesse Akpeki, and I'm host of TesseLeads podcast. I'm here with
Paula Okonneh. I co-host TesseLeads podcast with Tesse. So TesseLeads podcast was started in February of 2021, and it was inspired by Tesse's late brother, Tesse Akpeki, who felt that we needed an additional podcast to showcase the personal lives of the guests that we interviewed in our first podcast, which is called Tesse Talks. In Tesse Talks, we talk mainly to CEOs and members of the C-suite, professionals, business people about their business and their professional lives. But in TesseLeads, it's all about the personal stories. And Tesse can give more context to that.
Yes, thank you, Paula. Tony, as you knew him, also called Bruce T, was a very strong servant of the community. And one of the last things he said to me was to create a safe place and space for people to tell their stories. 4 days after he said this to me, he was killed in a hit and run incident in Dover, in England. Now we have this wonderful space where people can tell their stories, where we amplify people's voices, and where others can actually see that there's nothing that they go through that other people haven't been through in some form or fashion, and have hope that they can have a future which may not be what they thought it was going to be, but which could be better than them not being in the world.
So with that, there was a story, there's a guest that we interviewed that really impacted us. Tess, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I suspect you're talking about Professor Bina Kandola, who owns his own firm, and his firm deals with diversity, equality, and inclusion. And Professor Bina Kandola is an OBE, which is he has a title from the Queen, an honor from the Queen. And we have a king now, but what he said to me, and he also wrote it in LinkedIn, was that actually coming on TesseLeads was a really wonderful place for him to talk about his father, because through his interviews and his writings, etc., the spotlight is always on him, and he's an amazing guy doing amazing things. But we created a space where he could talk about his family and the people who mattered to him, and that really touched him. And so we hope that with this medium, we'll touch other people and they touch us as well.
Yes, because there's a popular saying, well, there's something that Tesse and I say all the time, and that your personal lives matter. And so that's what the mission of TesseLeads is all about.
Absolutely true. Absolutely.